The question is, and the question that's going to be at least for a few weeks here is, should Jasmine Crockett run for Senate in Texas? Now, to not bore you with my explanation, because trust me, I got some explaining to do. My short answer is yes. Okay, so get your fingers off the keyboard, be like, oh my God, how dare you not support a black woman? Like, okay, slow down. Slow down. I do. I don't live in Texas, but hey, if we can get more younger, more for the people type of person in the seats, I'm all for it. Okay, so calm down, guys. But one is not going to be easy. I don't think it hasn't been a Democrat in the Senate of Texas since 30 years? I heard someone say. So it's going to be an uphill battle. Trust me, it's going to be an uphill battle. And she's only been in Congress since 2021. And that's my biggest, I guess, concern, is she's only been in Congress since 2021. Like damn near when I had my YouTube channel. Okay, so I do want more receipts. I want more experience. I want to see the consistency within your voting and how you carry yourself in a position of power. Because to me, that is important. I want to see what you have done, so maybe I could kind of see what you will do. But of course, someone like Zohran Mamdani with very little experience gave people the hope that they wanted. So experience doesn't make everything. Look at Donald Trump. Zero political experience. Zero. None. Nada. And he's been president twice. So, take that as you may. And the Senate culture, while listening and watching a lot of these conversations, what a lot of people bring is she able to be in that Senate position and be able to work with other people that don't think like her? Like she's going to be working with the worst of them. And in the House, how has she been? She's very fiery. She doesn't play that, which I can agree with. That's why I wouldn't make a good politician myself. I don't want to play fair. I don't want to play with people. I don't want to communicate with people that are purposely going against my agenda. I understand that. But in the Senate, it's a whole different battlefield. We see it with AOC. We see it with Bernie Sanders. When they make some of these decisions on voting for a bill or not voting for something, it can be questionable. But they understand that this is a longer game when you're working within the Senate versus working in the House. But I tell you this. The American people do not care about that. Everything that I just explained, don't want to hear it. I'm pretty sure in my comments right now, people are saying, I don't care. I want her to win. I'm going to be supporting her. And you know what? I agree with you, because people want change. And if that means that they have to vote for someone who's only been in the Senate for 4 years, then damn it, that's what that means. They are tired of the same old status quo. And if they can get that out of Jasmine Crockett, then damn it, they're going to put their hopes into that. And that right there, I think, gives her more of an opportunity to win than to lose. Because once again, look at Zohran. Look at AOC. She was a bartender and she won. Look at Trump once again. He lied to people, but he gave them hope. So it's all going to boil down, and I'm going to say this a million times over and over. I need you to listen. If you don't get anything from this video, get this right here. it's all going to boil down to her policies. Yes, you can talk crap about Trump. You can, say all the crazy things about Marjorie Taylor Greene. People are going to like it. I'm going to love it. But it all boils down to the policies. That's all that matters. You can be all talk and some bite. You can walk and chew gum. But you need to remember that. So, okay, I'm done. But let's go ahead and hear what some of the other people are saying on CNN.
Brand new in our politics lead, Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is getting into the Texas Democratic primary for the U.S. Senate with the help of President Trump. Well, here's her new campaign launch video.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
The news comes after former Congressman Colin Allred dropped out of the race this morning. My panel's here to discuss. Karen, what do you think of that launch video?
I love it. Good for her. It's different, right? I mean, in this media environment, you got to break through, and that's one way to break through. And she clearly understands, at least to start in a primary, right? You got to raise money. And how do you raise money? You raise money by saying, this is the guy that we're going to be fighting against, right? So I thought it was great. I love it.
And
she looks gorgeous, by the way.
Here's what former Congressman Allred, former NFL player, told CNN's Dana Bash earlier today.
So before they get into that, the ad was cool. I mean, I wasn't like jumping for joy or like, oh man, this is amazing. But it was cool, not gonna lie. And I understand, once again, get your fingers off the keyboard. I know what you're already gonna say. Oh my gosh, she's just starting, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. But one thing that I've learned from Zoran, which won in historical numbers, is that he put the policies first. So yes, I understand this was like her first coming out video. Okay, cool. But follow that up quickly with your policies. What you're going to do for Texans. And affordability, obviously. But go into some detail. You need to repeat that so much that people get tired of you saying it. You don't understand. When I would watch Zoran, he would always bring it back to his policies over and over and over again. You'd be like, hey, Zoran, how about them Broncos? Or how about the New York Jets? He'd be like, hey, the New York Jets, right now, they're not doing so well. But you know what else is not doing so well? Busing, affordability. And what I want to do for New Yorkers, like that's what he would do. And that's what I want Jasmine to do. Like, it's cool, talk your stuff, do that. But I want to now hear the policies, the substance. So is that too much to ask? I'm sorry, is that too much for me to ask? I don't know.
Today about his decision to withdraw his bid for Senate and run for a House seat instead. Take a listen.
Jasmine Crockett is very openly considering running. Is that part of why you decided to not run anymore?
Yeah, of course it is. And I think, listen, Jasmine's a friend of mine, and we've served together. I've known her since before we were both, in elected office. But it was about the fact that with, three strong candidates running, that we would certainly have a runoff.
So this does leave the Democratic primary field open right now, pretty much between State Representative James Tallarico, who we had on the show last week, and now Congresswoman Crockett. Who do you think will be the stronger Democrat to take on the Republican? And it's not just a throwaway because it's Texas, because it does look like the Republicans in Texas are not going to stick with their incumbent Senator John Cornyn, and they're going to go with a guy who's got a lot more baggage.
It's probably going to be Ken Paxton. I'd be surprised if Cornyn figured out a way to pull it out, the hat out of the bag, as they say. But I was talking to someone who's close to the Congresswoman, and they made two interesting points to me. If it is Ken Paxton, they personally believe that Jasmine Crockett, according to some early internal data, would be a more superior candidate than Tellerico. Two, Texas has the largest number of black voters of any southern state, which I actually did not know. I was just made aware of this. Yeah. And so they're looking at those dynamics and they're saying, hey, we think we could have a competitive opportunity to potentially win the state. Now, as a conservative.
Now, with that said, Texas has the largest population of black Americans. With that said, I'm not saying that it's a layup. I'm not saying like, this is gonna just be a walk in the park, but this is that opportunity right here. Like I said, I'm no political analysis type of person. I can't tell you, what percentage of chance she has to win. I know it's gonna be an uphill battle, but if anybody can do it in any state, it would be Texas. And it would have to be someone who demands your attention. And that is Jasmine. Put those two together with some good policies. It doesn't even have to be progressive policies. Just make them attractive. Just make them look good. Like make people want your policies. And I'm saying this will be the greatest win in my lifetime here. I'm just saying.
Conservative, I am a bit worried about Paxton. I think we should stick with Cornyn. That would be in our best interest. But it doesn't appear to be what Texas voters want, Jake. And so if that's a decision that they choose, it's going to be a tough race ahead.
Well, let's talk about that. The polls on the Republican side, recent polls show the incumbent Senator John Cornyn. He's running behind Attorney General Paxton and Congressman Wesley Hunt, who's something of a conservative firebrand as well. How do you see all the math on this? I mean, there is an argument to be made that maybe Democrats should go with a more centrist candidate if the seat is actually up for grabs. I'm not saying I'm making it.
No, agreed. And look, that is going to be what you hear from, I would argue, probably the party committees, right? Because they like to play it safe. But here's the thing about someone like a Jasmine Crockett. Number one, she is going to excite new voters and potentially, depending upon how they're thinking about the race, take a look at the state and say, how do I get those black voters who aren't voting, who aren't registered? Let's get them registered. Let's get them engaged. Let's do the same thing with Latino voters. Meanwhile, on the Republican side, it feels like, to say Ken Paxton has baggage is a very generous way to say it, right? And so the Republican side is going to have a conversation about, well, which do we want? What do we want to defend? The status quo, the baggage? What are we doing here? And particularly in an era where, let's be clear, Republicans are going to have a tough year next year. The economy is not necessarily going to get better. Inflation is still high. The costs that people are spending right now at Christmas time, running up their credit card debt, is going to hit them next year. So it's going to be a tough year for Republicans.
So, Michael, what is the problem with
now? What she said, or what a fake tapper said, is kind of important here. And I don't want to say that Jasmine Crockett is a superstar progressive. Once again, it's not really a lot of history for me to try to go through to be like, okay, these are progressive policies. Once again, I want her to surprise me. But even then, you don't have to go crazy with it. You don't have to be a democratic socialist to seize this moment here. And being the status quo is not going to get you that win. You need every single advantage you can get in this type of situation here. We had the blowout win with Zohran Mamdani. Use that. Affordability. So just trying to play it safe is not going to get you the win. It's not going to get you the W. So playing it safe, if that's anybody's strategy within her camp, they need to be fired quickly. Like right now, since yesterday. This is not the time to play it safe here. I'm sorry. If you're trying to win in Texas, there's no safety on this gun. There should be no safety on your weapon. We are ready to fire. That's all I'm saying.
Cornyn. He's a very conservative Republican. He's an establishment figure by now. Why is the MAGA base against him?
I think that Paxton, for a lot of MAGA voters in Texas, appear more closely aligned with President Trump in terms of his rhetoric. But I will add, even individuals like Chris LaCivita, co-campaign chair or co-campaign manager of the president's recent presidential campaign, he's even been on X talking pretty relentlessly about the need for Republicans to support Cornyn over Paxton and over the congressman. I mean, I think he's even said a couple weeks ago the congressman should just get out of the race all together. Wesley Hunt.
Yeah.
And so it shows you that even those close to the president recognize the importance of this seat. They don't want to give Paxton the opportunity to lose the seat to someone like Jasmine Crockett. And I know there's a lot that one could say about the Congresswoman on my side, but I do not underestimate her at all. I think she is very articulate in terms of her political skills, and her ability to mobilize voters, black and Hispanics, is something that as a Republican strategist, I am watching.
Where are Democrats on whether they...
Now, that was the best analysis from a Republican that I've seen in the past few days. Because if you go on Fox News, what are they saying? Oh my God, like they literally said something like the Republicans don't have to attack her, just play some of the things that she said before. Do they not understand? That is why she's popular. What are you talking about? Don't play her greatest hits. That's only going to make her more popular. Don't do that. And Republicans, unfortunately, they don't have no policies of their own. So once again, this is not a easy victory, but I am someone that is very optimistic and I can see her winning. I just want to know, hey, you already know what I'm going to say. You already know what I'm going to say. I want to see the policies. And if she can do that relentlessly over and over until people can repeat it, that's going to get her the win. If she can be out there in the streets, don't just be at home, don't just be behind the cameras doing interviews, be out there with the people. Be out there every single day. Well, not every single day, but you know what I'm saying. That's how you get these wins. Pretty simple.
Let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy.